Good afternoon. My name is Josefina Gomez Fields, and I'm a Vice President, Associate Market Manager for Veritex Community Bank. Growing up, my mom and dad, typical, I'm a first generation American. My parents came here. My dad is from León, Guanajuato, and my mom is from a little ranchito called San Francisco del Yugo, Nuevo León, but she settled in Mataguala, San Luis Potosí. So, my parents came here at a very young age since the 70s, and, they met in Chicago. And so growing up, they moved to Texas. They had my sisters and I. So growing up, we grew up in a household where our parents constantly worked two jobs. My mom worked every day, Monday through Friday, and a second job Saturday and Sunday. And I clearly remember my mom coming home and making a full course dinner every day. And I used to ask myself, man, Mom, are you tired? But my mom never complained, always worked hard. My dad, same thing, and so they gave us, growing up, that's how that strong work ethic was instilled in me and my sisters, and I'm very proud of that, and also growing up, my dad used to always say, tienen que hablar español en la casa. You have to speak Spanish at home because you can never forget where you come from. My dad constantly instilled that into my sisters and I. You never forget where you come from. You never forget your origins. Always remember who you are. Always stay true to yourself. So growing up, that's constantly been instilled in my head with my parents, with my sisters and I. And, I started working at a tax notary office at the age of 14 because, he was a family friend and he was like, hey, I could use some help filing. My sister was already working there. And so I was like, sure, I'll go learn. And I learned how to do taxes by hand at the age of 14, Little did I know that was going to prepare me for the future where I'm at today, and that's advice that I will give the kids, the young generation of America. Everything that you do, no matter how small it is, no matter if you're pushing carts at a grocery store, no matter if you're sacking at a grocery store, everything will prepare you for who you are today. Fast forward that the notary office, I couldn't work there that much longer because they were closed pretty much on weekends, and I wanted to make more money. So I started working at a grocery store, which prepared me for the money counting skills of the banking industry that I'm at today. So that was always a good thing, learning how to count money. I went to high school. I'm not gonna lie, I made a few mistakes in high school. I should have graduated with honors. I should have graduated with a full degree, but I decided to play around and have fun. It didn't hinder me from graduating because I still graduated with my class, but it prevented me from getting additional opportunities that I could have had to help ease the burden of my parents having to be financially responsible for paying for my college education. So graduated college, I did the community college thing because I wanted to be a police officer. That was always my dream, my goal. Growing up in the communities that we grow up in, you see the police officers that mess with young kids that haven't done anything. And I always said, I'm going to be one of those police officers that's going to come in their neighborhoods and make a difference. And I always said I wanted to do that. But then I started doing the community college, and our criminal justice professor pretty much said, hey, you guys have to learn how to separate the personal from the business. And my heart couldn't do it when he told us about the crime scenes, about what he would walk into. My heart said, I can't do this. So knowing that I could count money, I decided to apply for a bank. I've been in banking 17 years now, and I started as a teller. Very proud of how hard I've worked these past 17 years because I didn't graduate from college. I didn't get my degree, and everything I've done is really through hard work. Every single role that I've had, whether it's a teller, a commercial teller, a personal banker, a team lead, and then a branch manager, and now an associate market manager. Every single role that I've had has taken a lot of time, a lot of commitment, a lot of work, a lot of preparation to go into the next step. And I will always say, accepting of the feedback that people give you. I will be 100% honest. A lot of the feedback that I received as I was growing in banking was communication, the accent piece. Work on your accent. Your accent's a little bit strong, work on that. I did work on it. I'm working on it now, but I'm still, sometimes you still hear that Latina twang. You still hear that little bit of ay Dios mío, ¿qué hice? You know, you still hear that a lot in me because that's still who I am and I'm not going to lose that. So I've just filtered it a little bit. I've tuned it a little bit more. I've polished it a little bit more. And here I am today. So my advice to the young generation is continue to work hard, accept the feedback, be accepting of everything and learn from it. Don't give up because you're the only one that's going to believe in yourself. No one else is going to believe in you but you. You're the one that's going to get your own promotions. You're the one that's going to put all that work in. You're the one that's going to do everything. So continue to work hard to be where you're at. Don't get sidetracked, just focus. But most importantly, well, there's a few things of that. Stay true to yourself, be kind to others. Because what I can genuinely say about my career growth is that every step that I've been in, every position that I've been in, I have continued to help everyone. And it's not about who's better and who's not. We can all grow together. We can all learn together because you have strengths that I don't have and vice versa. So we have to help each other and we have to help each other grow so we can all eat at the table. So that's really stay humble. And most importantly, stay true to yourself and believe in yourself. And be proud. Viva la raza.
Owner of Adaptive Roofing and Solar. I'm only a few years older than y'all. Honestly, I'm 29 years old, and I'm gonna give y'all a little bit of advice, kind of give you an insight of, my life, how I've achieved this level of success I've achieved, and hopefully one of y'all listening to this video, watching this video can, take something I give to you here, run with it. Because if there's one thing I love to see is I love to see young people in general experience success. I love to see people being successful in general. Don't be a hater in life. Celebrate other people making money and living a very good life. So a little bit about me, guys. We'll talk a little bit about my business, how I operate, everything it is that I do. So let's go right into it, right? I own Adaptive Roofing and Solar. I have many different departments within my company, right? I have the roofing side, I have the insurance side, I have the solar side. We also do a lot of remodeling and renovations. And truthfully, I'm nothing without the fantastic team that I've built. My team, the amount of work that's there is impossible for just one person. So I've been very fortunate enough to build an amazing team, and I'm able to check in through them. I'm able to check in with them all the time. And it truthfully just makes my life so much easier. If not, I'd probably go crazy if I had to do it all myself. Now, a couple months ago, I went and taught at, Weaver Elementary. And, I showed the students, we'll get into a little bit of the details of how, the business makes money and whatnot. So, but more important than that, we're going to talk a whole lot more, because the truth is you can be successful in whatever you're going to do. It's just a matter of becoming the type of person that is going to have success. Okay. But a little bit about my business. We'll talk about the roofing and insurance side. A lot of the work that we do is there. For example, guys, what I was telling you, I told a class, I believe they were like 4th, 5th grader or something like that. I showed them how I made $40,000 in 40 days. And they were like, well, it only took you 40 days to make $40,000. And no, the truth is it's taken me about 11 years to acquire the skills to even be able to make that type of money. Okay. So we can go into all the details of how it happens and all that. And that's a whole other video on its own. And if any of y'all want to reach out to me to be like, hey, what does your line of business look like? Maybe I'll hire you when you get out of school. We can go from there, right? But let's talk about what it takes to just be in that position. Because the truth is, any industry you get in, you can be in that position. It doesn't matter what it is, okay? So what it takes to be in that position, it takes a disciplined individual. What I like to say is that everybody's going to have them, right? You're going to have days where you're a winner, and then you're going to have days when you're a loser. Okay. Now, what I mean by that is that no one's perfect. Everyone's going to make mistakes, but are you winning more than you're losing? And are you constantly seeking that improvement? So with that being said, for example, there's been plenty of situations, even with my busy life today, that, you know, I could choose to go out and party with my friends, and I can mess up and miss, I can completely mess up my schedule and miss my 8 a.m. meeting, right? Now, let's just say I do that one time. Does it make the biggest difference? No. But now let's just say my habits, my regular habits have become that of somebody that's consistently missing the meeting and not going the extra mile. Then don't expect to have the nice things in life. Don't expect to be able to have those resources. Your only success, how can I put this? Success is not it's not a thing by chance. It's 100% by habit. You will create the life that you're ultimately going to want to live. Now, it's much easier said than done. The easier thing to say would be, is like, oh, you know, I'm not going to go the extra mile. I'm not going to make the extra phone call. I'm not going to read the extra chapter. And that's fine. You can live that way, but also don't be mad when you don't have what others have. And that's a very harsh realization that a lot of people have to come to. But let's talk a little bit about, you know, my upbringing, how I've gotten to where I've gotten. And I'm a big believer. I never like to prepare for any of these. I like to just give it to y'all as I'm thinking about it. At least you know it's going to be the most genuine thing you're going to receive. So me, I'm 29 years old. I own Adaptive Roofing and Solar. I am a father to a beautiful 3-year-old girl. She's going to be 3 in October 1st. She's my motivation. She's my why. She is my reason of being. I have a fantastic mother. I come from an amazing family, but I also do come from very humble beginnings. So I was born in McAllen, Texas. My mother was amazing. She was 20 years old when she had me. And my dad went to prison right when I was like 2 years old. So my dad's been in prison for a long time. He's a very smart individual, but, you know, he just chose the wrong business. And, you know, we grew up, you know, we didn't grow up, you know, with a lot of, you know, materialistic things or anything. We didn't grow up with a whole lot of money. You know, I lived in a house with my mom, my grandpa, my grandma, my 2 tios. You know, we had a 3-bedroom house, and, you know, me as the little kid floating around, I chose to sleep in any different bed. I didn't have my own room or anything. So, I mean, I could sleep with my grandpas, my grandparents, my mom, or with my uncles. And we had very humble beginnings. That's for certain. But I never looked at it as like a negative thing just because we didn't have money. Because what I did have was a very loving home, that taught me everything that I needed to be taught. So one thing that I hate to see within our culture a lot is a lot of y'all might have tias and tios right now that will, you know, tell you that, oh, you know, the gringos have it a certain way and they have advantages and things of that nature. No, they don't. There is not anybody that's going to create the life you want more than you are going to create it. Okay. Even if you're in a situation where you come from, you know, a financial background that's not going to be able to put you in the best college or whatever, you can put yourself there. I'm a big believer in that. You can put yourself there. If you're 15 years old and you know you want to go to an amazing 4-year university, then be disciplined, get straight A's, because all the answers are right there in the books, and make it happen for yourself. It doesn't matter. You can pay your own way. With that being said, guys, you got to think about my advice to y'all when it comes to, you know, success and everything is you have to have your reasons, you have to have your whys, you know what I mean? So I know for me, every day that I get up, I have a why that is stronger than a mother's love, essentially. You know what I mean? I know that there's no level of work that I'm not willing to complete to make sure that my daughter doesn't have the best, absolute best that she's going to have. I mean, my daughter's 3 years old and all of her college is ready to go. She's ready to be, you know, she's ready to have everything already at 3 years old. So, you know, that little girl's very fortunate, but it comes with a tremendous amount of hard work. We'll talk a little bit about, let's see, where else do we go from here? My upbringing, let's talk about, you know, those 11 years of real professional experience that got me to where I'm at. Okay. So I went to college. I went to college when I was 18. And I'm a college dropout. I didn't do that great at college, truthfully. I did good. I went out there, but I didn't make the best decisions when I was out of college. But I also knew 100% that I wasn't just going to go and waste my time. I knew 100%. I made my mind up from a very young age that I was going to be somebody who had money and was going to live life to the fullest. So I went to college. And truthfully, I mean, I made loser decisions. That's what happened. That's why I ended up dropping out of college. It was a lack of discipline, and those things happen. And it's if you're somebody right now who's not making the best decisions, chances are it. Chances are 100% you're not someone who's making the best decisions, and it's just completely up to you to have that self accountability to make those changes. Now, I went to college. I really did back and forth. I really wasn't the best student, but one summer I took off and I took a sales job. I went out and I took a job at a gym selling personal training. And in 1 month, I had made about like $6,000. And as a broke college student, I was like, man, I can make $6,000. That's $72,000 in a year. I mean, even if I got my degree, I'm not going to come out and make that amount of money. So I immediately dropped out. I got right into sales, got right into the hustle of it all. So learning how to, sell personal training, just becoming just a regular salesman. Then I went from learning how to manage teams. Then I went from learning how to be a district manager to managing managers who are going to manage teams. So I've learned it all from the bottom up. And then, I learned different industries. I learned how to door knock selling. What was it? AT&T. I've gone through the grind of the hustle, so I can relate to any salesman that I hire at the most cellular level. I know exactly what's going on in their mind. I know exactly how to coach people to get from one level to the next level. And, now I run a pretty decent sized company, and I live very, very comfortably. I'm not going to tell you exactly how much I make, but I don't have a financial worry in the world. I can retire my mom right now if she wants to retire. And, I'm very fortunate and blessed to be able to do that. Now, I'll give you some advice one of my mentors gave me. A lot of people, I can't stress this enough, okay? A lot of people love what success looks like. They like to see jewelry. They like to see a few $1,000s on your wrist. They love to see that, but a lot of people really don't like what success is. A lot of people don't like the 5 a.m. alarm that I set. A lot of people don't like the 15-hour work days that I set. Now, success is going to be a different version. Success has a different definition for everybody that it is, right? And truthfully, somebody living my specific lifestyle that I live to make the amount of money that I want to make, they might not be happy doing it. Me, I love this. I love what I do every single day. I love being the man in my family that when anybody needs anything, they call me. And it comes with a lot of stress, but for example, my grandpa who lives in South Texas called me today, said, hey, he wants to be over here tomorrow. I said, Dad, don't even worry about it. I swipe my card, quick one-way ticket, like $600. It doesn't matter to me. I've worked hard enough that I can have those luxuries, and it comes with a tremendous amount of stress, but it truly makes me happy at the end of the day. My daughter, she's 3 years old. She already has investments under her name. If somehow time magically flipped and she had to go to college today and I had to pay $40,000-$50,000 for education, it's done. It's already settled. It's ready to go. I'm very fortunate, very blessed to be in that position. But like what I was saying, a lot of people love what success looks like. They love what high level success looks like. But the truth is most people aren't going to like what high level success requires from an individual. So, truly ask yourself, what is it that you want out of life? And then just start going because, there's no such thing as perfect timing either. If you're somebody whose mindset, and this is something I had to adjust as well. If you're somebody whose mindset is like, okay, I'm 21 now. By the time I'm 24, I should start making $100,000 a year. It doesn't work that way. It does. I'm 29 and I make way more than a lot of people in their 40s and 50s do. And it's not that I was saying, oh, by the time I turn 40, I'm going to make $250,000 a year. That just wasn't my mindset one bit. I figured if somebody's making $250,000 a year, I need to see what they're doing and I need to implement it in my life immediately. And I've done that time and time and time again. And you got to have strategic goals, guys. I remember when I first really started making money, what I consider six figures and above, I was about 25 years old when I first broke six figures. And I was like, okay, this is how you make 100 grand. And then the next year was like, okay, this is how you're going to make 170. Broke that. Then the next year I was like, okay, this is how you're going to break 200. Then the next year, I'm like, okay, this is how you're going to break 250. And now I'm on to a different, goal. I keep every year I've continuously found a way to improve. Okay. Now with that, here's another bit of advice that I'll give you. Okay. With that level of success, to be able to make right around $500,000, with that level of success, I have failed tremendously. And the failure is an amazing thing that you'll experience. Okay. I have failed so much. I have failed much more than the average person has even tried. Okay. In sales, you'll learn that, a no is not that big of a deal. If somebody tells you that, hey, unfortunately, I chose somebody else, it's not that big of a deal. Every no that you receive in life is closer to a yes. You only truly lose if you're an individual that quits. And don't be a quitter in life, because you're just going to have to choose your hard. You're going to choose the difficulties of achieving things at a high level, achieving, the beautiful life that you deserve to live. It's difficult. Or you're going to choose the hard of being somebody that lives with regret. You're going to be that somebody that, wishes they could have did what they should have done. So choose your hard, choose your discipline. You have a whole life ahead of you. Don't wait, because money can't wait. Things are going to happen in your life. You need to be the man the woman of your family. You need to do whatever it takes now at a young age to make it happen. Because whether you're 15, 16, 17, 18 years old, time is precious. The decisions you make now are going to directly affect where you're going to be in life in the next few coming years. Think about it. Think about your future life. Think about what the picture it is you want to paint with every decision you make, because ultimately you're going to create the life that you want. You can live up here, you can live down here. Most important thing, guys, is live happy. You can make a lot of money and not live happy. I'm very fortunate enough that God has just blessed me with amazing people in my life. So with these amazing people, I've been fortunate enough to make a lot of money with them. And I live a very happy life, which is the most important part. I'm very blessed. I'm very healthy. Make sure, go to the gym, eat right. Because I'll tell you what, I can share to you a sad story about one guy that I networked with, super successful, multi-millionaire. And when his diabetes got so bad that, he was emptying, he was doing whatever it could. He was spending every single dollar it could to take care of his health. He passed away at like 50 years old. And, the man had a terrible diet. He lived very unhealthy. And yeah, just because he was financially successful, what does it matter if you have all that money and you can't even walk? You know what I mean? So take care of your health, dream big, achieve big, be disciplined. I wish y'all nothing but success. And your biggest enemy and your biggest friend is always going to be right up here. So whatever you want to do, go take it, guys. I'm out. Talk with y'all soon. Hope to hear your success stories. Bye-bye.
Hello, my name is Liliana McClure. I work for PepsiCo. I've been with them for about 15 years. I have done many roles with them, but I'll start from the beginning with my how I got to the US. I was born and raised in Medellin, Colombia. I am very proud to be a Latina. I think that's one of the things that comes out of any conversation in the beginning. I'm Latina, I'm from Colombia, I'm very proud. So when I came here because I wanted to learn English, and I could read it and write it, but I couldn't really speak it. So my mom wanted me to be an accountant. I thought that was a pretty boring job. And I always, high school, middle school, I always wanted to be a flight attendant. And she never really liked that job for me. So she always said, I will pay you for a real degree and then you can do whatever you want. So I don't even know how I convinced her to let me come here for a year by myself. But here I am, many years later, um, and she always told me to just, if I ever needed to go back, to just call her and go back anytime. She still tells me that till this day, because I think moms do know better. My first job when I came here was in an optical company, because I ended up not going to school to learn English, but I have learned English. So there you go. I have gone back and forth to college a couple of times, but I learned much easier doing, and I learned doing stuff than I do sitting down in a classroom. Not to tell you that going to college is not the right thing. It definitely, I think you will always have to work a little harder. If you work for a company, you're always going to have to work a lot harder than someone that has the degree. So I started in PepsiCo, or let me start with the other job. So I started my first job in an optical company. I started down at the very bottom. My first salary was $5.25 an hour. That was the minimum wage when I first came here. And my job was very simple. It was just to put a lens in a machine, and then it would go through the rest of the process. So I did that for a little while, and then I wanted to learn more, and I ended up learning all of the process for the optical manufacturing. Once I learned all of that in one side of the building, then I went over to the data entry. Then I did special order lenses, and then after a while, an accounting opening came up. And remember, my mom wanted me to be an accountant, and I didn't. I honestly did not like numbers in high school. But I decided I wanted to apply for accounting, and I got the job. It was just doing T&E reports and just approving expenses, matching the card statements, making sure that everybody was spending within the policies, that if they were missing a report receipt, I asked them for it, or reimburse them, put in the system reimbursement if they were paying with a personal card. So after I had done for a year and a half, I don't remember exactly, one of my friends had gone over to PepsiCo, and then there was an opening, and she said, hey, would you like to come and interview? So I did, and I got the job. At that time, it was just to do expense reports. After that, I went on to the fixed asset department, and what you do in a fixed asset is just like everything that a company buys becomes an asset, like if it is a machine or their computers, and then you put it in the system, and you kind of, companies get write-offs, or anyone that has a company, even an LLC, I think you could get an asset write-off. So if the asset is supposed to have a life of 10 years or 5 years, then you get tax write-offs for the depreciation. So that's what I did. I love that. I love that role, and I learned a lot. Then after that, I went to the accounting team, and I learned to do a lot of entries. Sorry, that's my puppy. I learned to do a lot of entries to move costs from one place to another, where it needed to go and where it should be. And then I went to the IT finance team, and the IT finance team, I was kind of like managing the checkbook for our project managers. And if they had projects going on that they were doing for the company, and they had contracts that they were planning to sign or hadn't planned to sign, then I would usually just kind of keep them on track as spending their money timely and correctly, or releasing it so the company can reinvest it in something else. And then recently I just moved into a new role, which is with the supply chain. It's been 2 weeks, so I'm not really sure about what my job is going to be. But I think that's one of the lessons in life. You just have to be prepared and not scared to do and to take a risk and to do different things and get out of your comfort zone. That's what I learned from, doing the job as they come. So I would say I didn't choose my career. I think my career chose me. And like, my mom clearly saw something I didn't. So moms do know best to sometimes listen. So that's kind of like my work experience. Talking about some other things. So here's a funny story for me growing up. So my dad used to pay me for doing my chores. And I always thought, it was just what everybody got. And then as I volunteer with the Junior Achievement, sometimes kids say, oh, you get paid for your chores. So I try to switch it up. And now I'm like, okay, so when you get money from your birthdays, right? any cash that you come into. This is what my dad would do. He would pay me for my chores and then ask me later on, hey, can I borrow, I don't know, 25 whatever pesos? And I would say, yes, but you have to pay me with interest. And he would, like, whenever he got paid, or if he really didn't have the money or whatever it was. But I think what he was really trying to do is to help me learn, manage my money. So I feel like that really helped me when I came over here by myself, to kind of learn that, you know, there's bills, you do get an income, you do get paid, but you also have bills that need to get paid. Always take care of your credit. Make sure that anytime that you're leaving a job, I think for me, that is one of the biggest advice that I can give to young kids. You know, have work ethic. Anytime that you're leaving a company, put your 2 weeks, if that's the path that you want, put in your 2 weeks. Make sure that you work hard those last 2 weeks, that you put in the good work. So you do it for you. You don't do it for them, because you never know down the road if you're going to see someone from that company that could give you a job because they realize that you did a good job and that you did the right thing. That's kind of a big thing for me. In your work, I think if you can see, I've done a lot of different jobs as in my career, and try to do not just what's required of me, or what I say, oh, this is my job and this is what I get paid for. But if you look at it in a different way, is you can learn from every experience, and the more you know, the more you're able to have conversations with other people and tell them, hey, you know, I have this idea, or hey, what do you think about this? And so it's helping you grow. So when you're doing something more than what's required of you, remember, you're doing it for you, not for them. Let's see. When I was in high school, I always wanted to be a flight attendant. That was one of my big things. Not so much anymore. So just remember that what you think in high school, the things that matter to you back then will not longer matter when you're older. So just don't worry about what people think of you. Their opinion is their opinion. That doesn't necessarily make it true, or makes it who you are. So you will have a lot of people that are not nice in high school, and trust me, that doesn't stop even in real life, right? As you're out of school, you're gonna find people that are not nice, but you're also gonna find a lot of good people. So just know your worth. Always do what you think is best for you, and don't let those negative people determine your life and what you can accomplish. So because I didn't finish my degree in PepsiCo, they have been very firm. With this recent promotion, they actually told me I have to have my bachelor's degree. So I do have to go back to school and get it if I want to continue my career at PepsiCo. They do pay 100% for that school. So another advice that I can give you is you're choosing the companies that you're going to go to. If you're not going to work for yourself, or you know, find something that a company that you can fund on your own, then always look for a company that kind of helps their people grow. And if they pay for school, take advantage of it. Go get it done. One thing is, I think one of the panelists, if you haven't heard him, you will, was talking about you can choose to party, or you can choose to be a little bit boring. So when I came here and I met my husband, we got married really quickly, and we actually at 22 we had a mortgage. So it's like most of our friends were still going and partying, but we were already paying for our mortgage. And so just do things. When you're doing something, just think long term. You may have fun one night, and you may make a decision just based on the feelings right now. But I feel like if you think about it, what either consequences, or you know, like if I don't do this, if I don't take this risk, would I regret it? Would it be bad, or not necessarily bad, but would I regret it, right? Like, could I have done better? Let's see, what else? what advice would I give my younger self? I think I probably would have finished college, and I think it would have made my life a little bit easier because my path has been staying with a company. So it would have made my path a lot easier. So again, just always make sure that you go to college if you're gonna be in a company, and always think about excelling, learning new things, and trying different things. So I think one of the panelists, if you haven't heard him already, you will. He said, just think about what reach or what success means to you. I think something is, do you want to be rich or do you want to look rich? And so I think it's very important that a lot of things look flashy, and having the best car may seem like, oh, that's what I want to do when I grow up. But if you think about it, when you buy a brand new car, the moment you drive it off the lot, you've already lost a bunch of money on it that you could have spent on something else. So always just, yeah, life may be a little bit more boring in some ways because you're not partying with all your other friends, but it's going to be a lot more relaxing and a lot more or less stressful, knowing that your bank account is secured, that you're prepared for an emergency, or that you don't live paycheck to paycheck. And you can all do that, because I came here by myself. I didn't want to take help from my parents because, of course, it would be pesos to dollars, so it would take a lot of money for them to help me. But I wanted to do it on my own. I wanted to be me. I wanted to be able to make it or break it. So that's me in a nutshell. And in a nutshell, see, when I came here, I didn't speak English. I say a lot of funny things, and sometimes like this came out like, and people make fun of me. People make fun of me back then because it happened more often. I didn't care, don't take yourself too seriously or your haters too seriously. Just do your thing, do what you feel is right, and always listen to yourself. And like that little gut feeling, it really does try to tell you something. So I love being here, being able to talk to you or give you a little bit of inspiration. If it does, I would love that one day I see someone and say, hey, I saw you, and maybe, or someone in the Junior Achievement gave me inspiration to be who I am today. Because just know that you can do it if you set your mind to it. So thank you so much for the time. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and please make sure that you take notes from all of these panelists and realize that life is hard and you're going to find hard days, easy days, but they're worth it.
Hello, Junior Achievement of Dallas. Thank you so much for having me. My name is Janine Josso, and currently I work for AT&T, and I'm a client solution executive here in Dallas, Texas. I'm so excited to join you all and tell you all about my journey to where I am today as a Hispanic and as an American. So thank you so much for letting me be here. First, I would like to start off that I was, raised in Houston, Texas, went to high school and college there, and I went to University of Houston downtown. I have to say that what helped me get to where I am today will be my work ethic. I have always wanted to work since I was 16, and I did. I started in the retail luxury industry and started from Tommy Hilfiger and worked myself up from Coach to Tory Burch. And that's where I left my last 5 years during college. And I, even at one point, was working 2 jobs to get myself through college. And thank goodness I did. And even I also had time to do 2 internships with AT&T during that time. And a few things I was very proud of my accomplishments during college and working at Tory Burch was I was one of the top 30 sellers at Tory Burch and was one of their caviar members, which just meant excel in exceeding my quotas. Also, as I started now with AT&T, I am also one of the top sellers in my department, which I am in public sector, and I help universities and school districts like Texas Christian University, Texas Wesleyan, Arlington ISD. So maybe one of your guys' school districts, I probably am helping them build their network so you guys can have internet and be able to work from your computers. So it's a very rewarding position that I'm in right now, and I hope to continue to get promoted and grow as I go. And I just have to say that as a proud Hispanic and having such a supportive family has really helped me continue to just work hard and keep doing what I'm doing. And I just want to, say to all of you that if you put your mind to it, and even if you don't have maybe the friend or the family support, find mentors. Those are also who has helped me keep growing as a person and as an individual, was people who helped me get motivated and find my path. And thank goodness I was able to, again, work hard and get to where I am today. And I'm very proud of my current role and position here at AT&T. And hopefully one day y'all will join me and, be a peer or, one day my boss. You never know. So thank you again for letting me be a part of Junior Achievement Dallas. I love this organization and I love volunteering, and I hope to meet one of you guys one day as a peer or out there in the world. Okay, so thank you so much and keep working hard. And no matter what you do, your path is perfect and you guys will do amazing. Thank you so much. Again, my name is Janine Josso, and I appreciate you guys having me here today, Junior Achievement of Dallas. Thank you.
So my name is Ivan Kiasua Jones, and I work for Veritex Community Bank. I'm a financial services representative. I also work with Josie. Funny story, well, not funny story, but she was actually the one that referred me to Veritex, and it's been a great experience. I used to work for sales. I used to work for the Texas Lottery. Then I decided to change career path. And I think that by far that was the best decision that I've ever made. It's been a great experience. And like Josie, I'm also Latino. From Colombia. I came to the US when I was 13 years old. And, just like Josie said, I can concur, or I completely agree with what she said about, learning the language and trying not to have an accent, but then you have to embrace who you are. And as a Latino, as an Hispano, you have to be proud of who you are and work hard and do the best that you if you have that mindset that you are able to do it, that you have to work hard, and then you're going to be able to reach your goals. And like I said, I'm a financial services representative. I open accounts, business accounts, personal accounts, and I'm in the learning process. But when it comes to banking, there are a lot of opportunities for you to grow, and all you have to do is give your best, do the best that you can, and you're going to be able to get to places. And I love where I love what I do. I love talking to people. I love helping people. I love helping the Latino community. And yeah, it's been a great experience. And for the young people out there, if you work hard, you're going to be able to get places. Don't worry about what anybody else is doing. Worry about yourself. Worry about doing the best that you can. People are going to see that in you, and they're going to help you grow. Always surround yourself with people that are going to be pushing you forward, that are not going to be holding you back, that are going to be assisting you with reaching your goals. That's what we need. And sometimes that's where we fail. We surround ourselves with negative people, with people that are going to, take us through the wrong path. And, as Latinos, we need to, again, surround ourselves with people that are going to be helping us reach our goals. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm living the dream. I love what I do. I love the company that I work for. And, it's been a great experience. And you see how, when you work hard, they notice you. And that's the most important thing. So, again, trabajen fuerte, hagan lo mejor que puedan y van a ver que todas las cosas les van a salir bien. All right. Thank you again. My name is Ivan, and thank you for having me.